Hello there, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a speed build. It is going to be a short video. This is a one-bedroom trailer home. It could be for a single sim, it could be for a couple, or you could, switch out the beds and make it for roommates or siblings, etc. And I wanted to go for like a rustic tone for it for both the exterior and interior, more like earthy tones. So you will see that throughout this speed build. I think it came out pretty nice. I like the color schemes that I kind of went for. You will see I do a blueprint layout eventually, and I do change the roofing midway during the video, so you will see it gets more like simplistic than what I originally did. But this is the layout here. You have one bedroom. That part in the back is the bathroom. You have a full kitchen with a dining space, and then that's going to be in the back the bedroom area, and then there's like a small living room slash like study space. I will say I use only 2 store objects for this build. And just to note, because I always say this, that if I do use store objects, sometimes I go overboard, but this was a small build and I was trying to challenge myself to try to use less store objects, but there were 2 objects I just really wanted to use. So if you don't have them, I mean, one of them is a bookcase, so it would probably just replace it maybe with like a standard bookcase, and then the other one is like a chair that like hangs, so that one I don't think that would be replaced. It might just like disappear. I'm not really sure how that one works. So I do start with the living room here, and I was kind of debating what kind of couch I wanted to go for, but I wanted something a bit more like old style, like maybe 90s looking or something like that. So I go with that, and I liked this wallpaper, like the pattern with the red, so I kind of based like the couch and furniture and stuff off of that, and I do kind of more like neutral tones against the red, because the red was very bright and I didn't want to have too many different like mixed matching colors in this room. So I mostly go for like the cherry wood, a light wood, like to kind of mix it up, and then I go with red, and then I have like some brown mixed into it. And I do kind of make this like a cozy space. I didn't play test this, unfortunately, so if there is a bit of routing issues, I would just say maybe like move the coffee table over a little bit. If the TV in here does break, which I know that happens in The Sims often, I would say if you do want them to either, take care of that or to get a repairman, you would just have to move the coffee table out of the way and like put it somewhere randomly when they arrive, and then like just place it back in there. I tend to do that if I like to keep small spaces. I make them cozy, but like if something breaks and needs to be fixed, they need the routing for the like the repair person to get there. But yeah, because I like this old TV, and I want it to be like a standing TV. I felt like that made more sense with this because it's more of like an old-fashioned, like older, like 90s looking home. Like I said, I want it to be a bit more like in maybe like the forest area, so maybe they don't focus on using that much technology, so they just like have a basic old TV that they've had for years, And then, like I said, this is the bookcase that I use. I really liked how it looked with this, so I kind of couldn't like part with this object. I wanted to use it so badly, so I do. And I do just like decorate a little bit with the space. I do add in like a what's that called, like a record player. So I want it to look, like I said, a bit more like antique. Maybe they're collectors and they have like old antique type of technology, but then other than that, they don't really like interact with too much technology. Maybe they're more like they like fishing or like gardening, reading, things like that. I do put on this lot, this is a 20 by 20 lot, by the way, I do put a backyard space, but I leave it completely empty, so it's up to interpretation, like what you want to do with it. If you wanted to put like a pool, if you want to put a gardening space, and if you wanted to move, because I do put a tiny grill on the little side deck area, but you could always put the grill in the backyard instead. And there's like many like options. And then I'm doing the kitchen, and I do a certain layout, but I kind of skip it because I had a bit of indecisiveness, which happens a lot when I'm building, and I really wanted to go with like that little island piece, and I was trying to find it, and I was like, which one is it? So it took me a little bit to find it, so I kind of like cut that part out. But I put like a little 3-seater kitchen table as well. And then I did like a basic stove, but you could always replace that stove. I just figured I would do like the standard like beginner stove, like the cheapest one for this one, since it's supposed to be like a trailer home. And then there's a microwave. I like to always put cabinetry and stuff on top to make the space look completely like filled in and like decorated. But then yeah, I always forget. but there's like above that, like the stove, there's that like above light, those type of things, like the, I guess the things that the fan or whatever that like sucks up the like smoke or like whatever steam if you're cooking, like those like ventilator things. And I forget that they have them in The Sims 3, and I think we get one or two, and that one I use is from the Pets expansion. And then there's some stuff I have from the store, but like I said, I didn't want to use too many store objects, so plus I liked how that one looked anyway. But yeah, I always forget those exist, and they're like a good like over the stove type of thing to put, you know, in homes, because it looks good, it looks realistic too. And yeah, I just like do a little bit of decorating here, nothing too much, you know, just to make it look lived in. Like I say, like I add some little accents. I always like to put soap on the, you know, the sink area in the kitchen, so it's like, oh, they wash either their dishes or their hands after they're cooking. And you know, I liked those things. What are they called? Like those little, I guess, cookie jars, containers. I don't really know what they are, but they have like there's different swatches on them. I always forget, but that one I think had like mushrooms, and I thought it looked cute, so I went with that. And then I tried to do a bit of lighting in like the rest of the house and like outside and stuff, because sometimes if you don't do it right away while you're thinking about it, you know, sometimes I forget. But yeah, here I'm doing the bedroom, and I go for like a sort of mauve purplish color. I felt like it's like a deep purple. Purple's one of my favorite colors. I don't know about, you know, anyone else, but this one of my favorite colors. It's kind of like a deep plum if you think about it. But I liked how it looked. I felt like it was kind of cohesive, I feel like, with the sort of aesthetic I was going for with this build. I add like a rug for this to fill in like the floor space, and I put a dresser, and I really like this from the Master Suite stuff. And I always like to have like a different like countertop part that's like different from the bottom part of the dresser. I feel like it kind of makes it stand out. It looks cool to me, so I went with that. And just like, you know, make it look lived in, I add a little bit of clutter there. And that's what I was saying, the little light that I do, I put that there. I feel like I always forget that night light exists, but you can't change the color swatches on it, unfortunately, I don't think, so it's kind of limiting. That's why I don't use it often. But yeah, I was pretty much done with that. I do now just the exterior. I'm almost done with the build. I do show the bathroom this time. I say I never show them because they're boring, but I figured I would show it since this video I knew was going to be quite short. So I was like, why not? So I go ahead and I was kind of debating what color scheme to go for. I originally went with like that light, like white and black color, but I was like, wait, that kind of like doesn't go with the theme of this house. It kind of stands out, and I want it to be cohesive. So I do change my mind then, and I go with like these brown tones, and I felt like it looked way better. And I think this is the shower from, it might be Island Paradise, I'm pretty sure. And I didn't want it to match the wall. I felt like that was kind of weird, but I wanted it to kind of match maybe like some kind of stone like color, but it's just not like attached, the tile's not like attached to the wall. But yeah, add a little carpet, a little things to make it look, you know, lived in, like I say, used. You know, bathrooms are a very utilized space typically in homes, so I like to make them be cluttered and look really used and stuff like that. And then I do end up doing just a little bit of decorating for like the side of the house, and then for the side porch here, like I said, I do add only like a chair, this chair here, and then I add just like a little grill. And that's pretty much it for that. I leave it at that because I want it to be like kind of walkable, like so you can go up it, and like there's not too much space there. But like I said, you can move the grill, put it in the backyard, because I do end up towards the end of this putting in the backyard with like, I put fencing too. There's even a little parking space here, so they have a little driveway. I kind of wanted to make it look like, oh, they kind of drive into this and kind of turn, and then that's like their parking space there. So, you know, you can always change it and like flip it and put like the little parking space the other way, but I just felt like it made sense on the side there. And I put some of these trees. These are my favorite trees. I think I use, one of them is the pink cherry tree. I don't know if that's also from the Pets expansion, but that tree on the other side, the right side, is one of my favorite trees. It's from the Pets expansion. The Pets expansion gave us some of like the best trees to decorate like houses and like areas with, because of the foliage. They look so pretty. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, there's no really any backyard, it's empty. I just put like the fence around it, so that way it's like, you know, part of their personal property. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. There will be a slideshow in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. So thank you again for watching. If you did like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And take care. Bye.